Hi everyone, welcome to Supermums Wednesday Q&A. It's really nice to be here this evening, and for anybody watching on replay, please feel free to ask any questions or reach out to us directly. I'm Maria Stamford, Customer Success Coach here for EMEA at Supermums, and I am joined by my wonderful co-host, Diane Willock, and she is our Supermum based in the US. So today we were going to talk about, and we get asked lots of questions, don't we, Diane?
Yes, for sure.
Lots and lots. But there are definitely some common ones that always kind of crop up, I would say, kind of 9 times out of 10.
Right.
And have you got one in mind already?
So if we're talking specifically about our Salesforce Admin course, I think probably the number one question I get asked is, is this course right for me, right? Is this something that I'm going to want to learn? And how do I know if I like this course? So sometimes that's kind of a loaded question but what we are about at Supermoms, I think, is making sure that we do talk to individuals to find out, is this a good match for them? Is this course right for them? So, they might be at the beginning of their Salesforce journey, not know too much about Salesforce and just starting to learn about it. So when we get that question, or when I get that question, I try to uncover, well, what are your motivations? Why are you interested in Salesforce in the first place? And just talk about it. Talk about, is it going to be a good fit in their life? Do they want to make this career change? So I think that is definitely a loaded question, and it requires a little bit more investigation, depending on the person, right? To see if it's actually a good fit for them and if it's a good direction for them to go in.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's, it is about having that right fit, isn't it? Right fit for us, right fit for them, and just making sure that career change
Right.
is going to be the right career change for them.
Right. And that's why we always encourage, give us a call, because there's a lot that goes into deciding, if the course is the right path for them. And we like to, as coaches, uncover those reasons and really talk to individuals about, their situation. And we want to be able to support them in their career change and make sure that they are comfortable that this is a good, course of action for them.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that kind of leads nicely on to mine, which I think the most common for me is, do I need a technical background or an IT background? So it is kind of like, can I actually do this? And do I need a technical background or have an IT background? And I think that's something that is probably the burning question on most people's kind of minds before they come and talk to us. And I think that's really important, isn't it? To kind of establish that, you don't have to have a tech or an IT background.
Right.
And the whole idea of having that support with Supermums is that it is going to be a retraining. You are retraining with a new skill. So you're not going to know everything.
Right.
I think that's it. People kind of think, oh, I need to know lots and lots of things to start. But actually, that's the whole point of that investment, isn't it? Of, having that support network and that training each week to build that confidence and that skill set. But it's brilliant that, you don't have to have a tech background.
Right. You do not. Right. And it's really just curiosity, right? You have to have that learner's mindset. You have to be able to be willing to learn something new. And if you're willing to learn something new, you can come from any background. That's the best part about it, is it really is Salesforce, can be learned by anyone, and you can come from any background and be very successful. You just have to learn, you have to learn the platform, but you don't have to have a degree in IT or a background in technology. It's perfect.
Yeah. So, and I think that's, being able to kind of do that career change, you've got those transferable skills, haven't you, that you can utilize all of these transferable skills that we have in our background that can come to the forefront and assist with that retraining and that new skill set. So, that's really a nice combination, isn't it, for entering that ecosystem?
Right. And it definitely goes to, the question, we get about, is this right for us? Do I have to have an IT background? And I think it's just that hesitation, not sure they're able to do it. I mean, I guarantee at one point in your life, you've learned something new. So it's just like that. You have to be ready to learn something new and have that commitment. But other than that, again, anyone can do it. So it's just about when we talk to individuals, right? We go through that. What is their hesitation? Why are they, what is it stopping them maybe from jumping in and getting started? And it's usually something else that they're just not confident yet, so we have to talk to them about their confidence, and they have great transferable skills. They have great experience that they brought to the table. So it's just about, being ready to put that effort in to learn, and we help them, work through that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that leads on to probably another question that I get asked a lot about is kind of what kind of support that we give at Supermums.
Exactly. Right. I think so too. Yeah. How are we going to help them? Right.
Yeah.
So that's the best part about Supermom's program, is that we really provide that kind of, that 360 support. I like to say, just kind of quoting what Salesforce is, that 360 view of the customer. We like to provide that 360 support for our Supermoms. We help them get on board and make sure they're comfortable and this is a good fit for them. And then we support them throughout their training. They get mentorship. Then we also support them in their career entry. So we do a lot of one-on-one coaching with them. So they really get an entire, life cycle, so to speak, of support when they join the Supermoms team.
Yeah, definitely. And I was saying to somebody today, like for us as coaches, I remember kind of doing my, my training and doing my own career change. And when I certified and I was ready to take that next step, I was kind of like, what do I go and do next? How do I do it? I don't know anything about those next steps that I need to take. And that's what I really love about Supermums, because it's not just that kind of that retraining of that skill to get you in.
Right.
That's really important. That's a really important piece of the puzzle. But there's so many other factors, isn't there, that's really important.
Right.
And, kind of around your branding and LinkedIn and CV support, and what those next steps might look like, right?
Right, exactly, because we can train you on what you need to know in Salesforce, but there's all those other factors that you have to take into consideration when you're making that career shift. And it helps to know that you're not alone, and that we are supporting you in that transition. Because again, we can teach you, that Salesforce technology, what you need to know, but you're also going to need to have that support to be able to then go out there and get that role, to go get that, make that career shift. So we take that very seriously. I always say this all the time when I talk to individuals about our course. I said, we want to get you certified. We want you to know the platform, but we also want to get you a job. So we take that very seriously. We want to make sure that you are successful and that you are ready to go into that new role.
Yeah. And I think even though, because we are global, aren't we? And we speak to people all around the world.
Yep.
But the questions generally, those top questions that we commonly get asked are really the same. They're the same things that are on everybody's mind. So when you was just saying about, landing that role and that job support, that is something that I do get asked, as I'm sure you do, around, what does that support look like from Supermums for landing that first role?
Right. Exactly.
What the support looks like.
Yeah, we help to make sure that they are Salesforce ready as far as their, their resume and their CV. So we want to make sure that you are presenting yourself as the Salesforce professional that you want to be presented as. We make sure that you understand how to best optimize your LinkedIn profile, how to network. And for some people, this could be, you've taken a career break, or maybe you're just entering into this career, a new career. It can be something that you need to have some practice with and some support with. Maybe you haven't applied for a job in a number of years. So we really do take it on an individual basis. And I think that's what I want to point out as well is that we do that one-on-one coaching because, we don't just kind of throw those career supports at you for you to go through on your own. We actually have a one-on-one coaching call with you because, again, everybody's different. Everybody is at a different position in their life, and they all need supports in different areas, right? And so we find out what those supports are, and we try to address those and give you the tools that you need, to be successful.
Yeah, you are so right, because those things that kind of seem kind of basic around kind of LinkedIn, they are really daunting, aren't they?
Right.
Like posting for the first time on LinkedIn. You are the brand queen, as I like to say.
Right.
And actually starting to brand yourself can feel a little bit uncomfortable, can't it? And you need that help and support, and being able to bring out all of those strengths, and kind of how you can look at your profile and your CV. And I think having a CV and working on your CV can be, we want to do that. I kind of find that people want to do that quickly.
It's overwhelming.
Because it's overwhelming. So
Very overwhelming.
You do it. But actually, it takes some real time, doesn't it?
It takes time, and a lot of people just kind of put it off. They procrastinate that part because, and it's also important to note that a lot of people aren't naturally good at writing, or they might not be good at writing. So they just, they're not sure what to even, put on their resume. So we can definitely go over that and help in that area. And also, if it's not in your nature to be that person to go out of your comfort zone, or you haven't done that before, as far as networking on LinkedIn and putting yourself out there, we talk about that a lot too, because it does, in this day and age, right, the digital age, and everybody networking online, it's important to have that skill, know how to do that, and make sure that you're comfortable doing that. So we talk about that as well.
Yeah, that's a brilliant. I love that part of our role, Diane, of being able to just help and support and bring out those strengths, and explore kind of those past transferable skills that you can showcase to land that first role. It's a really part of our job that we love, isn't it, here at Supermums? So do you think, is there any other burning question that you would say that you get asked?
Sometimes I get asked, I would say, the little things about, am I going to have time for this course? How am I going to fit this in? It does seem overwhelming to think about having to train in something new. And so I think, life gets in the way. People are busy. They have kids at home, little ones, or, maybe they have their job, their full-time job that they're doing. They know they want to make a change. Are they going to have time to, fit this training in their lifestyle? So we talk about that as well. The best thing about the Supermums program is that it's flexible, right, Maria? You can work it around almost any schedule. And we've seen every type of trainee come through, full-time, working full-time, young kids, working around your schedule. So we want to make this flexible for you. So we do our best to make it flexible so that anybody can begin training in these classes.
Yeah. And I would say on the back of that is a question that I get asked a lot, is because of, people might be working full time, or might have those family or work commitments, or might need that additional support in the evening from family or friends to get that study time in, is I can't attend live. And it's kind of like people are quite deflated if they can't attend live, because of course that is a really valuable part of our course. We do have a live trainer, so it is very hands-on, but actually, because we are flexible and we are around that flexible learning and it's recorded, what I always say to people is, that class is obviously going at a certain pace, isn't it?
Right.
And so, you might need to stop, it might be you might need to go back to it and stop it and start it and stop it. And so there are the advantages of watching the training live and being able to participate live.
Right.
But actually, you're not disadvantaged if you have to watch that recording. It's actually a really brilliant tool, isn't it, to be able to keep going back to.
Yes, I think you're exactly right with that. Everybody learns differently. So, if you go back to the recording, you're not going to be at a disadvantage. And we purposely do that because we know that individuals can't always, join us live. But that live presentation and that live instruction is important because you
Yeah.
are seeing, your learning materials presented to you live. It is going to be, it's kind of like your personal, YouTube video. So you're able to see week by week as we build on our learning modules, the lessons each week. So it is important to have that live instruction, I think, just because it's relevant to what you're going to be learning that week. But again, it's flexible. You don't have to join live. We know that life gets in the way and you're not able to join us live. So we make sure that those are recorded, available to you, and you don't skip a beat.
Yeah. And the training team are very vocal about, if you can't attend those sessions live, then to keep in touch with the training team, report back on what that learning journey looks like. And always kind of say to people, that learning journey is never linear. Some weeks it's really going to land and some weeks it's not. And on those weeks, don't stay stuck. That's the whole point of having that accountability, isn't it? And that support and that investment, to be able to help pull you along, whether you can attend live or whether you're doing that from a recording, it is having access to that support network, isn't it, while you're training.
I agree. And you have a one-on-one mentor. That's, one of the best things about our program as well is that you are set up with a mentor who's there throughout the course for you. So if you're not able to join live on the sessions, weekly sessions, you make sure that you talk to your mentor and they can catch you up. They can help you with any questions that you have. You can talk to the trainer. You have a lot of different individuals that you can reach out to for that support. So, so that's what we try to do. We try to make sure that you are held accountable, and there is a schedule, but you also have the flexibility to do it in your own time.
Yeah, which is brilliant. It works for so many different circumstances, doesn't it? And different for different people. So we do have a question here. So Adil says, thanks for this. In terms of support, can Supermums help if you are already certified as an admin? So I don't know how you would reply to that, Diane, but I would say it depends on what that support looks like. What support do you need? If you are already certified, is it that you are looking for that mentorship? Is it that you're looking to land that first role? So I guess if you can reach out to either myself or Diane, we can help you and see if there's any way that we can support you here at Supermums. We do obviously upskill with other courses. So our consultancy skills course and our marketing cloud. But, as a way of us being able to help you, we could always have a 30-minute consultation, career consultation, and just see if we can support you. So do reach out to Maria. I am Maria, Diane, and myself. So that we can help you and guide you in that. So in terms of that, I'm Maria at supermums.org, and if you wanted to reach out to Diane, it's the same. So Diane at supermums.org, or you can connect with us on LinkedIn. You can ask us questions. Feel free to pop any other questions actually in the chat here, and we can certainly follow up on those at a later stage for anybody on replay. I think before we finish up though, Diane, what would you say, what are the reasons that people choose to come and do the Salesforce Admin with us?
Right. I think, they've gotten, individuals are excited. They started learning about Salesforce and all the possibilities. They want flexibility. They want work that can, work around their lifestyle, something that is financially stable for them. And so, they come to us looking for a change, right? To be able to make that change in their career and to get a skill that's in demand, I would say, because it is in such demand right now. There's still a skills gap. We need people that are trained in Salesforce, and they come to Supermums because they've heard about our program. They've maybe heard about it from a friend of theirs that has gone through our program, and they know that we do provide those support. So they're interested in making a change in their life. They want to have some flexibility in their next role, and they've heard the buzz about Salesforce.
Yeah, and that's though we get so many referrals, don't we, from
Mhm.
Supermums or that
Yes.
Salesforce ecosystem, that, it's always amazing to see just how many people come through, come
Right.
and find us via that way. It's amazing, isn't it? And I would certainly say, I think, just by talking to past trainees and people in our community, it is about that accountability, isn't it, and
Yes.
structure of the course, because you can go and self-study, but you don't
Right.
have that support or that structure or that accountability.
Right.
And as coaches, we know how important that accountability is. And then we've kind of got all of those additional benefits, haven't we? Like you mentioned, like having a mentor, that's somebody
Mhm.
that's really, really important to build that relationship with, but
Right.
also having that piece of, work experience and that placement to really get that hands-on
Mhm.
experience before you going into, which is a safe environment, isn't it, Diane, to kind of practice and test out all those skills before you go out into, before you go out into that ecosystem. So I think it's been really interesting to just kind of see, we obviously get asked the same questions.
Right. 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 We
Or
do.
very
We
similar
get asked the same.
questions.
I know globally we get asked. Everybody, I think, is
Yeah.
still has the same questions, no matter where they're coming from. And you're right. You brought up some good points. If we do get a lot of referrals. They've heard about our program. They know. I would say number one, they're looking for that support. They need that support, but they need that accountability. I have yet to hear from a lot of individuals that are completely successful, right? Doing this learning on their own. They need support at some
Yeah.
point. So it's always better to start off your training knowing that you're going to have that support and you're going to find your way with that flexibility. I've talked to individuals that have said, well, I'm pretty good at learning on my own. I can learn on my own. And I always say, well, you are going to be able to learn on your own, but you are going to probably need some supports as well. So it's nice to have both, right? You can have that flexibility. You'll still be learning on your own, but you're also accountable to your learning. And then you get that support that you need. And we offer that for you.
Yeah, it is about that supporting community, isn't it? And peer
Mhm.
support. And so we've still got time. So there is still time to come and join our admin course because it doesn't start until next week.
Next week.
Diane, did you want to, for the US, you start on
So we start next Tuesday already. So
Tuesday?
in about a week, but we do still have spots available for that course. So we'd love to have you come on. I always like to remind everybody that it's the last training of 2022.
Wow.
So I think it's hard to believe because for me, it doesn't even seem like we're into November yet. So it's come up very quickly. But I want to bring up one other point that, because this brings up a good point that I get asked sometimes, and it's timing. Individuals will talk to me about timing. I'm not sure if it's the right time. So I get that question as well. So the first thing I do is I talk about goals. Like, what's your end goal? When do you want to be, if you want to make this career shift, when do you hope to get into your new career? So, if you're looking to get into your new career next year, it might be good timing for you to start off now, because then you'll get trained and you'll get into your new career early in 2023. I think that individuals are worried that it's not the right time maybe for them to start, but I also like to remind them that we seem to never have a perfect time
No.
for anything, right? Things pop up in our life all the time. So, there never is going to be a perfect time. And I think the best time for you, it's your decision when it's going to be a good time for you. But if you are at that point where you're motivated to make that change, I think it's important that you listen to yourself. And if you're motivated to make that change, it's the time to start. If you're motivated now, it is the time to start. So just think about that. We offer courses throughout the year, but our last one is going to be of 2022. We'll start next week. So if you're really motivated to make that change, it might be a good time for you. It might be the right time to do it.
I love that, Diane, because it's so true, isn't it?
Mhm.
We can't wait for that perfect time because it's never really going to come. It just has to be the right fit in your life at that moment, doesn't it?
Right,
And
right.
what that schedule likes and what that career change looks
Mhm.
like for you and what that time frame is.
Mhm.
And I know certainly for us here at EMEA, we also still just have a couple of spots left. We also start next week. So we start on Thursday. So again, there is still time. I can't believe that we're literally on the
I know.
last admin course of the year.
I
So,
know.
and we are fast approaching 2023. So I guess from that perspective, if there is still time to come and join us, if you want to kind of jump on that and actually
Right.
then be kind of career ready to do that change, it's kind of spring, isn't it? If you come and join us now in November,
You
you're
could
kind of
be in
looking
your
at
new role
springtime.
in spring, right? You could be in a
Yeah.
new role in spring. And again, there is never a perfect time. I mean, I think we do this with everything in our life, when's a good time to start this, or when's a good time to start, exercising? When's a good time to, get a pet, all these things that we go through, and it's never a perfect time. So the important thing is that Supermums is flexible. It works around your lifestyle. So even if it's not the perfect time for you, I think what's more important is, how are you feeling? Are you motivated to make that change? Do you want to get another skill? Do you want to improve your life financially? If you're saying yes to those things, again, there's never going to be a perfect time to join in. So think about it. We start next week. You can end the 2022 on a high note and start 2023 on an even higher note by getting those skills and starting to get into your new career.
Yeah. And step over that fear, because
Right.
sometimes fear holds us back, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It
So
does.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, I'm going to take that first step and I'm going to invest in myself and I'm going to believe in myself and step through the fear and do it anyway.
Right.
This is, I think that's such a great way to be able to look at it of, if it's exciting, like fear and excitement are very close together, aren't they? And kind of nervousness and all of
Mm-hmm.
those things kind of are all the same kind of feeling of emotion. And I think as long as you know that that's the right fit,
Right.
and you want to be in that ecosystem,
Right.
come and hop on board and come and join us. And I've just actually seen there's a Facebook user on here, but I can't see who it is because we stream across different platforms live.
I can't see who it is either, but they're very excited. So whoever they are, we're excited that you're joining us next week.
Excited to start next week. So
Right.
as we do get the privilege, don't we, Diane, of being able to speak to everybody that comes on board each cohort.
Right.
So it's very personable. And I'm always inspired by people's journeys and what's brought them to us and what that career change might look like, but also what that future could
That future
potentially
looks
look
like.
like for them. It's
And we just
been
celebrated our graduation
Yes.
yesterday. We just celebrated all of our trainees that have graduated from our program, and that's awesome to see. They got through they were all in the spot that perhaps some of you out there are in right now, thinking about, is it the right timing? Should I do this? Should I jump in? And now they're through their training. They're looking forward to their future. We had a great graduation celebration yesterday with them. So we love that. We love to be able to see you at the beginning of your journey and then where you're going to go from there. We love doing that. We love sharing in that journey with you.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And, I kind of think we are looking at towards 2023 now, aren't we? So it's kind of, you need to almost be making those changes now to get that momentum going in 2023, new year and new career. And
Right.
it's very exciting for our trainees that are going to start next week. And we get to do it all over again.
Yep.
It's great, isn't
Exactly.
it? But we will be here next week. We will be here next Wednesday, Diane and I. And I'm hosting today, which is very unusual because Diane normally hosts. So it feels funny being on this side of the.
Right. I decided to give you a shot at that. I figured you'd want to host today.
You are such a brilliant host.
Yeah.
So I hope I've done an okay job.
You did awesome.
I hope I've done an okay job. But as I say, we're here at the end of any kind of social media. Feel free to drop any questions to us or email us, reach out.
Find us on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, find us on LinkedIn, book some time with us. It's really an informal kind of, as you can tell from this kind of chat here, it's very informal.
Right.
We like to be able to find out a little bit more about you and just whether that's the right fit. So yeah, don't be shy, come and find us and book some time with us. So yeah, I think that's it from us today. So thank you for listening. And if anything has resonated here, then yeah, take that next step. Very exciting.
Thanks so much.
See you later. Bye. See you next week. Bye-bye.